Xanadu at 40, a mesmerizingly messy musical failure. To view the full article, click the first link in the description below. Film anniversaries tend to prey on a kind of incredulous public nostalgia for a past that doesn't seem nearly as distant as it is. How can Gladiator / Clueless / Pretty Woman be 20 / 25 / 30 years old? We're supposed to cry, before grumbling to eye-rolling youngsters that we remember seeing them like yesterday. Very occasionally, the reverse applies, as we sheepishly marvel that Robert Downey Jrs Oscar-nominated blackface stunt performance in Tropic Thunder wasn't of a more bygone era than 2008. In the case of Xanadu, however, the numbers game doesn't really apply either way. This week marks exactly 4 decades since Universal's epically derided musical blitzed its way onto US cinema screens in a queasy haze of lilac neon light, yet 40 seems an entirely banal middle age for a film that elastically stretched the concept of time from the very beginning. A grand studio folly that attempted to mesh the comforting sensibility of 1940s Hollywood musicals to the fast-expiring disco mania of the 1970s, leaning into the latter's then-current roller disc offshoot and simultaneously flailing about for glam rock and new wave reference points. Xanadu arrived both immediately dated and desperately of the moment, like an overstuffed time capsule of a half-dozen different eras, only assembled by Martians who had been observing popular culture from afar. Xanadu is 40 years old this week, but it may as well be 4,000. Or a missive from an as-yet-unborn future. Nothing about it makes any sense, its birthday least of all. If you disassemble its many lunatic moving parts, however, you can sort of see how Xanadu was conceived in the first place, as the bloated outcome of the kind of zealous, coked-up it's X meets Y meets Z studio pitches that Robert Altman skewered in The Player. The 1970s had been an awkward age for musicals, with the forward-thinking, adult-minded standalone success of Cabaret surrounded by the limp corpses of various stud attempts. Film anniversaries tend to prey on a kind of incredulous public nostalgia for a past that doesn't seem nearly as distant as it is. How can Gladiator / Clueless / Pretty Woman be 20 / 25 / 30 years old? We're supposed to cry, before grumbling to eye-rolling youngsters that we remember seeing them like yesterday. To view the full article, click the first link in the description below.